Okay, now you can share.
Yes, sir.
Now go the first stage. What is the
Okay.
first?
So this is the first slide.
Okay, so I have told you, that is, I have done one research related to the tribal children in Tripura. So it is that type of research where I have applied the drawing only to assess the consciousness level of the tribal children. I have followed during that time the psychic education of Sri Aurobindo and Sri Ma, that is the mother. Okay, next. Uh, when we are talking about the consciousness, first we have to tell something about the Sigmund Freud's theory, because he is the father of psychoanalysis. Okay, next. So I think you know the conscious, pre-conscious, and unconscious, the model, that is the topographic model of personality. Next, here is the Sri Ma and Sri Aurobindo. Next, layers of mind. When I have written this paper, at that time, I have not developed the RABINDRIK psychotherapy, but I am gradually coming to RABINDRIK psychotherapy by this research. At that time, I thought that is there are three layers of our mind. The first one is the outer layer, next one inner and inner core. Now I have termed them as the Murta, Rag, and Saraswat. Outer layer, it is composed of tangible forms, actions, and interactions. Inner layer, it is composed of feeling, the abstract form, and the intangible one. It is not visible to others, even to self sometimes. Inner core, it is the inner self, the Atman, immortal and remains same through all our lives. Now it is called as the Saraswat. Inner layer is called as the Rag layer, and outer layer is called the Murta layer, that is the concrete. And Rag layer is basically the seat of feeling, emotion, memory, thinking, etc. And Saraswat layer is the seat of the feeling of harmony with the surroundings, feeling of peace, feeling of the bliss, feeling of ananda. Next. So can these layers be examined? That was the question. For any qualitative research or quantitative research, you should have developed the question. Art is the expression of inner knowledge about the surroundings or outer nature. It is the inner journey from outer layer to inner core layer of mind. Initially, a child draws from his outer layer. Later, he moves to the inner and inner core layers. Though drawing includes overlapping of different layers, here is an attempt here an attempt was made to separate them to examine specific changes of layers. Next. So these are the attributes of outer layer. First one is the figure selection, figure ground relationship, size of the figure, location of the figure. That means on your sheet, where is the location, whether it is upper, it is middle, or it is down. Spatial distance, that means if you draw the hand, legs, etc., what will be the distance between the hand and body parts and legs also, everything. Even the spatial distance from the surroundings to the figure. Color discrimination, that is also important in case of the outer layer. For example, you have drawn flower and you have given some of the colors. So whether you are able to discriminate the color properly, so that will be in the outer layer. Next, this is the inner layer or rag layer. We can assess through the vividness, emotional expression, missing parts, anomalies, and complexity. Next, attributes of inner core layer, it is the harmony between figure and its surroundings. Orderliness, order in placement of different things of the figure. Cleanliness, crossing or rubbing. Aesthetic, beauty of the figure. So these are the attributes. Next. Study objective, to examine the outer, inner and inner core layers of mind of the tribal children in Tripura by assessing different attributes of their drawings. So this is the Tripura map. This is the tribal family. And the main occupation is the weaving. Next. Sample. I collected data from 50 tribal children. They were located at the remote tribal villages of West Tripura. Average age of the child was 9.26 years, SD 1.05, education class 3 and 4. Most of the parents were illiterate, belonged to Tripuri community. Their occupation was agriculture and manual labor. Next. Children were requested to sit separately so that one could not see others drawing. They were asked to draw any picture nicely on a given white sheet. I allowed them 15 minutes to draw the picture. Their drawings were administered to 3 psychologists with some experience in children art. The drawings were rated by the judges with rating scale developed for this purpose. Next. So this is the drawing content. You will find that is the majority children, they have drawn the flower plant, fruit, and house. Fruit plant, only the flower, human figure, bird, and home objects, relatively less. So majority has drawn the flower plant. Next. Outer layer of drawing, drawing locations. You can find out the majority, the middle size of drawing is appropriate, but few students are there, they have drawn it at the top level. And size of drawing, that is also very large in some cases, and 16%, that is the tiny figure, but they are appropriate. So their outer layer is okay. Next. So this is the inner layer of consciousness, missing parts, that is some and few. So 40 and 50, you may think about few missing parts, some missing parts, most. So here you will find that is not very much missing parts are there. So this is the percentage. Anomalies, picture anomalies are there or not. You will find that is, it is very high and high, 44 and 16. That means there is some limitation in their rag layer. 44 and 16 is there. So 60% case, you will find the anomalies are there. And with respect to the vividness percentage much and less. So it is clear, vividness. Complexity is low. Okay. Since the complexity is low, then you can think that is anomalies is high, complexity is low. Complexity, low parameter, that is high. That means there is some problem in their rag layer. So rag layer basically provides you the knowledge about the emotions. Okay, because these children, they were in the very remote villages and they have no access of the interaction with the other people. Okay, and the level of illiteracy very high. And the most important part is regular killings were there at that time. Within 1 hour, there will be one killing. And at that time, there's a lot of the conflict between India and Bangladesh related to the land acquisition. So this horrible situation at that time was there. Maybe that affects their rag layer. Next. This is the inner core layer. Inner core layer, you will find that is the low is 64%. Very low also 10%. That means 74% aesthetic value very low. Relative to cleanliness, yeah, they maintain much cleanliness is there. This thing is good. And in case of the harmony, this is low. Very low 20% and low is 46%. Okay, that means 66% there is some problem in their consciousness level. That is in Saraswat layer. Orderliness systematically. That is also low, and very low is 38%. Okay, that means these tribal children, they have developed the Murto layer properly. Rag layer is affected partially, but Saraswat layer is affected seriously. This is the result. What is the next? So this is the correlation matrix. Finally, I have tried to find out, is there any correlation? Now you can find out the harmony, orderliness, cleanliness, vividness. So they are correlated. And there is some negative correlation, that is the missing with the cleanliness, with orderliness. So missing is negatively correlated. So this results show that uh, our, that is this tribal children's consciousness, Murto layer, that is affected by Rag layer, and Rag layer is affected by the Saraswat layer, that is the inner core layer. So this is the correlation. So you can tell that it is the topography of consciousness following RABINDRIK psychotherapy. But keeping in mind that during that time, I was not thought of RABINDRIK psychotherapy. At that time, I was concentrating on Sri Rishi Aurobindo's theory of education and Sri Ma's theory of education. And once upon a time, I thought that is, if I wanted to study it thoroughly, then I could not move beyond the Saraswat layer. What Rishi Aurobindo has told, the supra consciousness. So if I want to do the research empirically, then I have to limit myself to the Rag and Saraswat layer, not beyond Saraswat layer. Now I am thinking that is beyond Saraswat layer is possible through the quantum consciousness model. But that is different. At that time, I never thought of it. Okay, what is the next? So conclusion, analysis of drawing is useful method to understand outer, inner and inner core layers of mind as suggested by Sri Aurobindo and the mother. It helps in identifying key areas on which specific educational intervention, physical, vital, mental and psychic can be made. Next. The four inner core attributes, harmony, orderliness, cleanliness, and aesthetic, are significantly related with each other. Correlation matrix shows that inner core layer is facilitated by the inner nature of the mind. So I think this is the last one. Oh, still there. Tribal children are introverted. They are not aggressive, rather they are passive, environment friendly and nature lover. They have interpersonal conflicts with human beings. Vital, mental, and psychic educational intervention are needed for their development of personality. So this theory based upon Rishi Aurobindo's theory of education. Next. Personality development does not mean reducing of inner desire in the unconscious mind as proposed by the Western psychoanalyst. Attention should be paid to the different attributes of divine consciousness, harmony, orderliness, cleanliness, and aesthetic for development of integrated personality. So that is the final theory that I have developed. Future studies, effect of color on the drawing will be determined. Cultural effect on the different layers of mind can be examined. Drawing can be used in case of pre-post experimental design method followed across various stages of physical, vital, mental, and psychic educational intervention by the trainers. Next. Okay, thank you. So students, any question? If you have, you can ask me. So this is about the ethnographic research. And I tried to examine the consciousness pattern of the tribal children, tribal students, basically, class 3 and 4. And I went there with a lot of life risk because during that time, insurgency was there. So it was very risk in life. But still, I collected this data. If I could not collect, I cannot develop this topographical theory of consciousness based upon Rishi Aurobindo and Sri Ma, and now the Rabindranath Tagore, because later on, when I dealt with some patients suffering from obsessive compulsive disorder, schizophrenia, behavioral problems, and when I treated the patient by using Rabindra Sangit, then I developed another concept that is RABINDRIK psychotherapy. And I find the relation between Rishi Aurobindo's theory about the integral consciousness model and Rabindranath Tagore's vision about the consciousness. Okay. Since you have shown interest to know the ethnographic research, I presented this, and Farah suddenly found this paper. It was long back, 2009, na Farah?
Sir, that was performing art therapy. This was, sir, on this you have not mentioned any date, sir.
Oh, acha.
Yes, sir. Let me check the post date. Sir, 8 years ago, you have posted this one.
Okay. Okay. So now I am going to the Google Classroom. There you can find out one format. Have you seen? Hello, Amruta, can you share Google Classroom?
Hello. Yes, sir, I'll share.
Hmm. Many students are interested in interview analysis, specifically patient and the caregiver. Yeah. So this is the outline. Achha, who are interested this interview analysis?
Sir, I am.
I cannot see, na, though. Okay. Who is interested? Kavita. Shrestha also interested. Okay. Shrestha interested. Kavita also interested. Okay. Any other?
Sri Lakshmi also is written in the group.
Acha, acha. Okay. Okay. So now I am presenting the dissertation outline. You have to present the dynamics of caregiver and patient interview, introduction, background, and context, significance of caregiver-patient communication, purpose of the study, and what is your research question. Keep in mind that is when you put the research question, you have to give adequate justification for the research question. Okay. Do you have any idea about the caregiver-patient communication? Is there any pattern of communication, patient and caregiver?
Sir, therapeutic communication.
Yeah, one side will be the therapeutic communication. So you have to write down very clearly, okay? Caregiver-patient communication for the therapeutic purpose. Any other?
Sir, it is usually formal kind of a communication.
Okay, you can talk about the psychosocial rehabilitation because that may not be in the hospital setting. So out of the hospital, then how the family, because family members, they are also caregiver. So how the family members and the patient, they will communicate for the rehabilitation purpose. So you can think about different types of different purposes of the communication. Okay, in the hospital setting, in the non-clinical setting, caregiver-patient communication is possible. You can think about it. And do you have any plan? That is, actually, you have to collect the data from one person. Okay. You have to collect data from one person about this caregiver-patient interview analysis. Purpose of the study, then the research question. What will be your research question that should be justified? Yeah. Amruta, next. Literature review. Literature review covers the theoretical framework, communication in caregiving relationship, importance of effective communication in caregiving, factors influencing caregiver-patient communication, existing models of caregiver-patient interaction, empirical studies on caregiver-patient interviews. So if you go to the Google Scholar, okay, you will get the caregiver and patient relationship in PubMed or in Science Direct. Research design, qualitative interview analysis, participant selection and recruitment, data collection procedure, interview protocol development, data analysis method. So this is the research design. After that, you have to maintain the findings, that is overview of participants. So if you collect data only from the one individual, then you can think about the overview of the subject. Themes and patterns identified in caregiver-patient interviews, sub-themes and variations, illustrative quotes from interviews. So this is very, very important. You have to write down the interview analysis. Okay, at least initially you have to, in the result section, you have to write down the transcription between the interviewer and interviewee. And this transcription that will be used for coding, memoing, and theme development. Next is the interpretation of findings in relation to literature, implications for caregiver-patient communication practice, strength and limitations of the study, suggestions for future research. That will be in the discussion. Conclusion, summary of key findings, contribution to the field, practical implications for caregiving practice, final reflections and closing remark, reference appendix, says that includes interview protocol, transcription conventions, additional supplementary material. Is it clear to all of you?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, over here, the interview and the interviewee and the interviewer, it will be the healthcare provider and the patient, right? So for that, it will be like a question answer kind of a
Question
pattern.
answer type. Correct, correct.
Yes.
So if
Okay.
you can think about the collection of data from the caregiver only, or you can think about the collection of data from the patient.
Okay, sir. So we are having two people conversing here.
Yeah, because you and your subject.
Okay, okay. Thank
So
you.
one person will be there. And be careful, you have to explore maximum information. So you have to design your interview in such a manner so that you can extract maximum information.
Yes.
Upon your research question.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anything more?
Sir, it is preferable structured or unstructured, sir?
Which one? The interview?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the interview, you can follow the unstructured or structured, whatever you like. Because you have to explore maximum information. Just now I can show you. Okay, Sreshta?
Yes, sir.
And Kobita. Okay. Kobita, you will be the interviewer. Okay. And Sreshta will be the patient. Okay. And
Yes, sir.
Sreshta is suffering from Sreshta, please you do not mind. Eh?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Sreshta is suffering from heart disease. Okay.
Okay.
And Kavita, you are the nurse, so you are the interviewer. So you have to explore maximum information. And what is your research question? First, you think about your research question. Patient is suffering from heart disease. What is your research question? Kavita, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe your research question, that is, what are the factors for the heart disease? Maybe that is your research question. Okay, Kavita?
Yes, sir.
So now you start conversation with Sreshta.
Good afternoon, Sresta.
Yes. Good afternoon, nurse.
How are you?
I am suffering from chest pain for the last 3-4 days, and that is why I have come to you.
What can are the symptoms?
Usually, when I am doing physical exercise or running or walking briskly, I am sweating a lot, and after some time, I am having chest pain.
How long do you suffer from?
I did not realize this before, but uh, this has been going on for the past 3 to 4 days.
Is there any family history of your family?
Yes, my father has high blood pressure, so he suffers from hypertension.
What is the lifestyle that you lead?
I lead a very sedentary lifestyle. It is mostly sitting at one place and working for a long period of time, and not much of physical exercise. But whenever I have to climb up stairs or maybe run to catch a bus or something, usually this happens.
Can you more details about physical activity? Which
Yeah,
type of physical activity do you perform usually in your daily life?
in my daily life, I don't really exercise. I don't have any separate time for exercising or performing any physical activities as such. It is mostly sedentary lifestyle, just sitting at the table and chair for a long period of time, or just walking around the room, going from one building to the other. That's it.
What do you food taken usually? It is spicy or it keep
Yes,
yes.
yes. Food is usually I like to eat spicy food, and I sometimes I also eat a lot of processed food or ready to cook food, which are tasty also.
Do you face huge stress in your daily life?
Stress is there, it is there, but I won't say I am very stressed or under a lot of tension or pressure all the time. But yes, there is a certain amount of stress, like whether I have to complete some work within the deadline, or with whether I will be able to perform a particular activity well or not. So that is the required kind of stress that is there.
Okay, Kavita. Now stop. Huh?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So what is your observation? What are the underlying factors?
There are 3 or 4 underlying factors are found here, such as lifestyle, or genetic history, then tension.
Okay. Now you tell me, that is your questioning pattern. Do you want to vary the questioning pattern? Because
Sir,
your questions are not related to the ending point of Sreshta. Your
yes, sir. Yes,
questions
sir.
are scattered.
Yes, sir.
So if you ask the question to Sreshta, that is where she has ended. And based upon that, if you ask the question, then you will be able to elicit more information. But your question is very much structured and very much direct. So that is not appropriate for the therapeutic interaction. You have to show some level of emotion. Okay. So this is missing in your interview. Now, I am requesting Sreshta as the nurse, and Kavita, you will be the patient suffering from diabetes.
Okay.
Kavita, I think you have idea about the diabetes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now Sreshta, you start.
Yes, sir. Uh, Good evening, Kavita.
Good evening.
Okay, so how come you have come to my chamber today? What is wrong?
Uh, I suffered from suffered from weight loss, and also some one wound is occurred in my hand, but does not recover from the wound. Uh, so I come here.
Okay, so have you done any blood tests before this?
No, I have not done yet.
Okay, so these are the two things you're talking about. One is the wound not healing, and the other thing is weight loss. Anything else which you are facing in the recent times?
No, I cannot remember.
Okay, So this weight loss you're talking about, has it been a sudden change or a sudden loss in weight, or was it a gradual
It
uh,
is
thing?
gradually. Uh,
Gradually you're losing weight, right?
it is gradually. I
Okay,
observed few days from the few days.
okay. So how long have you been observing these changes?
From past 6 to 7 months.
Okay. Can you tell me your current age and weight?
My current age is 45 years, but weight is not done recently.
Okay. Come, I will take the weight then. Okay, so just let's just presume that the weight is around 65 or 66 kgs. Okay. Uh, then I'll continue. Okay, so Kavita, do you have any family history of diabetes?
Yes, my mother has suffered from diabetes,
Okay,
and also my elder brother.
okay. And do you have any other complications apart from this?
No, the other complication I did not observe.
What about your blood pressure?
I suffer from high blood pressure from last 5 years.
Okay, I see. And what about your family and lifestyle?
I maintain mainly secondary lifestyle, and mainly secondary lifestyle.
So there is not much of exercise or any kind of physical strain.
Not much. Only for that type of activity done in for performing in career life. That's
Okay, so may I ask, what do you do?
I am a clinical instructor.
All right. So you have to work from office every day?
Yes, I go to office every day.
Okay. And what about your eating pattern, food habits?
Uh, Only take rice at night, but whole day I take dry fruits and healthy diet.
Okay, so you maintain a healthy diet. Do you have the proper meals at the proper time every day?
Nick, can you ask
Yes,
anything?
I'll repeat. Yes. Do you maintain having proper meals at the proper time every day?
No, no, I do not maintain proper time every day. Uh, Sometimes it is early or gradually it is late.
Okay, so it usually gets late. So do you skip meals in between?
Sunday, I skip meal at evening.
Okay,
Okay, now stop.
yes.
Now, Srishta, tell me, that is how Kobita has assumed that is she is suffering from diabetes.
But she is basically focusing on the two signs that she has seen. One is the wound is not healing and the drastic change in weight. So, because of that, maybe she has heard from others, or maybe she knows about this. That is why she is suspecting that she has diabetes.
Yeah, but in your question, you have to ask the same thing. That is, how do you think that is you are suffering from diabetes? Because that will be the qualitative research.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
so how one individual assumes that I am suffering from this particular disease.
Hmm.
That is very important.
Yes, sir.
Your approach is very much related to the uh,
Symptoms and signs.
diagnostician,
Yes,
etc.
yes, yes.
Okay, but not as a psychologist.
Hmm.
psychologists mainly will be concerned with the thinking pattern. So
Yes, sir.
what is your how do you think so? That is, why do you think so?
Right,
And
sir.
what is the underlying reason for this type of diagnosis? So when you are talking about the qualitative research, then your research question will be very specific and very depth. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So how this role playing?
It's interesting, sir, because see, both of us, when you asked Kavita to do it, and even when I was initiating the interview, it was both from a diagnostic perspective, like only the signs and symptoms were taken into consideration. But the way you just informed that talk like a psychologist, so it should be the qualitative approach will help bring out the inner details, like why she thinks she has diabetes, or when she was asking me also, she could have said that why do you think you're suffering from this heart disorder now.
Correct.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So in the next class, I will discuss about the content analysis. Acha, Farah, what Sangyupta madam will teach? Hello, Farah.
Yes, sir. She will teach the interview analysis and case study, sir.
Okay, okay. What will be the next class?
So next you will take on content analysis, sir. Content, I think you have done it, sir. Right?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So, sir, after content, then narrative is there, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Then interview and then case study, sir. And then report writing.
Okay. So the interview analysis students, please you think about your research question. Research question would be very specific and very depth. And you have to write down the interview. Okay. And after that, there will be the coding, memoing, theme, etc. Amruta, it is clear. So please you
Yes, sir.
alert the students
Yes,
to
sir.
write down the script about some issues. That is the patient and caregiver, or patient and what I say. Yeah, so the patient and the family member, patient and the nurse. So this approach will be there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so may I close now? Please you do the literature review. Huh? Okay, so I am closing. Thank you, everybody. Good night.